Detroit HPTV coming to you out of Detroit. Good morning, the sun shining. This is going to be a controversial topic, so don't respond emotionally. Think about what I'm actually saying, and I'm going to show you some things that happened over the weekend. Now, the question I presented is what happens to black women if this gender war continues? And I want you to think about what I'm going to say and listen real closely. If black men and black women alienate each other to the point where all they do is disparage and bring each other down, that leaves the door open for the enemy. All the black women that were saying they were divesting to what? No other culture will really accept you into their culture because if you have children, guess what? They will be black children. And on another note, other nationalities and races of men see how black women talk about black men and feel about black men, and they are viewed as traitors to their particular race. Nobody's going to invite traitors into their communities, into their folds. So you have a lot of gender politics going on for likes and for views. You have your Anton Daniels, you have your Cynthia G's, you had your Kevin Samuels, you had your manosphere. You have all these people who are making money and a profit off of gender politic. You know, I seen a post from a sister today, and she was talking about how black women are running things, and I put on a post. I said, name any place in the world where black women run anything. Not in Arabia, not in Africa, not in Russia, not in England, not in China, not in Japan, not in Australia, not in Pakistan, not in India. Nowhere on the planet do you see women running anything. You got to think about who runs Russia, Vladimir Putin, Prime Minister of England, Joe Biden running America. It's an illusion of inclusion that is only used to divide the black community, to destroy the black nuclear family. So when you hear these women just saying all these negative things about black men and black men saying all these negative things about black women, it's Willie Lynch all over. It's conquer and divide. You really have to be a self-loathing person to consistently say denigrating things towards your own race as if you don't recognize that the black community is in crisis. Let me show you how much the black community is in crisis. Look at this, what happened in Chicago.
Victims violently assaulted by a mob of teenagers over the weekend. They are sharing their experience exclusively with Fox. The video of 20-year-old Ashley and 22-year-old DJ being attacked on the 100 block of North Wabash went viral. They say they had just come out of Nordstrom shortly after 8 p.m. Saturday when they were surrounded.
We were just downtown in Chicago trying to shop, trying to get some food. And we were walking down the street, and there was a really big group of guys, a really big group of people.
Girls.
Yeah, guys and girls. And, DJ had my hand, and he was trying to lead me through the crowd of people. And they pushed him, they pushed me. And as soon as they pushed me, I told DJ, I said, hey, they just shoved me. And he asked them, he was like, yo, don't shove her, who shoved her? And as soon as he said that, everything went crazy. They said they're gonna kill us. They turned around and, started fighting,
So sorry.
I got pushed down to the ground, and yeah, I got pushed down to the ground, and the whole group of people went to DJ, not me. Like, I have a lot less injuries than he does because I was more of a bystander than anything, but everyone went for him, and it ended up in the middle of the street. They were jumping him in the middle of the street. It got pretty bad.
And they say a good Samaritan gave them shoes, drove them to the hospital where they were treated for minor injuries, then drove them home that night. No one is.
Now, the reason that I showed you that is while the parents are bickering and having a gender war, the children and the youth are destroying themselves, the community, innocent people. It's almost like they've raised children to be the enemies of their own race. These children don't care if they go to prison. They don't care if they live. They don't care if they die. They just out committing crimes. You know what I mean? They're attacking 80-year-old ladies, 64-year-old ladies, little girls. In Detroit, in the last month, there's over 30 missing children. And we continue to gender politic. And this question to black women. You say you're the least respected and the least protected, but you disrespect yourself more than anybody else on the planet. And the very man that you would hope would protect you, you have no love for him. Every opportunity you get, you want to say something disparaging, as if your words are not having effect in the community. The children are destroying each other and deleting each other left and right. Our communities have become war zones because they see how the older people interact. There was a time to where it wasn't cool for black people to talk about each other in public and to the internet. It's like anything that you give black people, they will weaponize it against themselves. And you see all this male bashing, but when you at that gas station at night or you at that store, don't you wish that there's some black man that will protect you? And I know they got y'all going to gun ranges and all that, but do you really think that when it's time to go in your purse and actually deal with what's going on in the community, that you'll be able to get in your purse or get in your holster or get to a weapon to defend yourself against these young boys with switches and Dragos? And the more you talk about that, you put that in their mind to where they know not to come at you playing. They're gonna come shooting off the dribble, off the rip, while you're trying to go in your purse. You're not built for it. You're not built for any type of war. You're really not built for a gender war against the very men that you want to protect you. It makes no sense. You know, Elijah Muhammad used to teach that in the last days, the devil's biggest trick would be he would use the black woman as a tool to destroy the black community. And you can see that. You can see in the language. When Ice Cube said that he wanted to get something for black people, and Vivica Fox said, well, is there anything for black women? And he said, aren't black women black people? And they said, no, we're a separate class. What class is it? In your mind, do you think that you can be embraced into the Mexican community, the Arab community, the Chinese community? What community do you think that you're going to divest into that hasn't witnessed the twerking, the disrespect, the neck rolling, the disrespect of your own men? Do you honestly think that other nationalities of men will protect you? Have you noticed they keep showing the videos of these young black girls beating up these white girls? Think about their fathers. Think about the white men who are seeing black girls beat up white girls all over Twitter, all over YouTube. It looks funny and it looks good to certain type of black people. Don't realize that you ain't built for war with no militias, with the Klan. They'll roll over your communities because you have no unity. You don't stick together. So you're gonna keep beating up their daughters and keep posting it, beating up their daughters, and then you wonder why they attack you. They go to soft targets. They go to the grocery store and open up. They go to the churches and open up. They go where you are at. Do you really think that they're shooting at the black males? When you see these white boys and they start and they go to do their mass shooting thing, do you notice they always shoot the black women? Because the black woman is a threat to their genetic survival, to their ideas of white supremacy. But you want to fall out in beef with your man, with the black man. You want to talk about how he not shit, and like you can divest and get away from him, even if you all choose to be lesbians, which is your right to do. Who's going to protect you from men? Let's talk about it. Do you really believe in the woman king? You really believe in Wakanda? When you see in your community what really happens to you when you get caught slipping at a gas station, at a store, in your home that some guy been watching and see ain't no man there? Everything you do that disparages the black man makes you a little bit less safer, a little bit less secure. I know a lot of you are bitter and upset because of bad relationships. So you come out and you rail against all black men as if all black men have damaged you. But can you see the bigger picture? Can you see how your children are off the chain? Can you see how violence and crime are off the chain? Do you care? You know what I mean? They give you these jobs, which was a trick. They only gave you the jobs because they knew that you wanted to be above your men and be closer to white power structures. They knew that you would want to be competitive against your man and that eventually you would turn against your own community, your own children, and your own families for status, a status that's unattainable in a culture that is based on white supremacy. If I had a problem with mice in my apartment, you know what I would have to do to deal with the problem and really cure the problem? I would have to find the nest. Who's giving birth to these mice? Just like with a beehive, if you destroy all the bees and don't destroy the queen, that beehive will just renew itself. So if black men are such a problem, how do we stop them from being born? Guess what? Not through talk, through destroying the wombs that bear them. You've been tricked and duped into thinking that the power structure loves you because they've always had a mammy in their kitchen. They've always had a mammy as their secretary. They've always had some Aunt Jemima type enforcing their ideas on the field Negroes and the runaway slaves. So they will exhort some of you because they know in exhorting you, you will do their work and put a black face on white supremacy. Do you want to be remembered as traitors to your people? Because really, you're not really mad at black men. You're really mad at God. You're mad at God for saying and creating an order. And because you don't like the order, which is in nature, you rebel as if you're rebelling against men, but you are truly rebelling against God, order, and societal standards. And this is why no matter what you say in your social media, in your post to your girlfriends on the phone, you know good and well your place in society. They can give you a six-figure job, but at the end of the day, you still to them gonna be a Negro wench, a bed wench, not somebody who's ever gonna run anything. And it's ridiculous when you sit up and say, we run this and we run the world. Where name one place on the world, in the whole world, other than social media and a mouth, that black women are running anything. This world is being dominated by white supremacy. White supremacy. The devil has made you think that you would be spared in genocide. He went as far as to change all the laws and create purge laws where a person commit a crime against you and they're going to let him right back out. Let him right back out. They made you think that if you go to the gun range, you could be defending yourself against men that's built for war. They have duped you and tricked you into becoming an enemy of your people. And I know this sounds harsh, but you got to understand, if black men don't protect you, who will? That's my only question. Who's going to protect you if the black men that you saying nothing going to protect you? Who really going to lose in a gender war? Because no matter how broken you think black men are, we are not broken enough to where we can't find weapons. And we ain't asking nobody to protect us because we know that no protection is coming for us unless we protect ourselves. So if you're not on code with the black community and you really feel these negative ways that you keep speaking into the atmosphere, which is creating spells and manifesting in your children, you got to ask yourself, what's your problem? When you can't see that the black community is in crisis. We're in crisis. No other culture uses social media the way we do. We use social media to tear each other down until somebody in the family die, and then it's, oh, my cousin got his wings. Pray your cousin ain't getting no damn wings, and ain't nobody on your timeline caring because we don't watch you diss for a whole year. We watch you say everything, and then all of a sudden you want some sympathy and some empathy, as if you're not a willing participant in a war against nuclear families, a war against divine order, a war against your own people. And you still want to step up. I had a lady that I know from college, and she was telling me, I don't know why black men fear a woman being in control. And I had to ask her, who wants to be controlled by anybody? And what is it that you want to control? How about control your children? How about control your mouth? Who want to let you control anything when you can't control that? You can't control your mouth. You can't control your children. You can't control your emotions. And you just lash out, not realizing the damage that you're doing to a community, to a society. These people at Fox News and these white people been promoting the idea that there is a race war with our children leading the charge as we sit and bicker about who make more than who make more money. Don't nobody care about who makes more money, because if you got to go to work every day to pay your bills, guess what? You are poor. Let me say it again for the people in the background. If you have to go to work for somebody else every day, you are poor. Let that resonate. Rich people don't go punch a clock. Rich people don't suffer and be one check away from eviction or getting some type of bill turned off. It's all delusional thinking. None of it, none of it is going to benefit us in the long run. You have the people from Dominican Republic usurping our past experience in the civil rights movement, talking about they built America. The people from the Dominican Republic, Puerto Ricans, everybody is taking the crumbs off the table that we used to scramble for while we turn on each other and implode as a society. Who really going to win in a gender war? That's all I want to know. Because I'm not a part of the manosphere, definitely not an incel, but I see all them men voices and they dog whistling. They're making you less safe. While you are making them less respected, running them down, they are deliberately dog whistling and making you less safe. Yeah. You just trying to hurt their feelings. They trying to get you took out. They trying to see you brutalized, victimized. They trying to see you broken because your words have hurt them that much. There's consequences for your actions. And for every action, there's a reaction. Think about what I'm saying. When women are disparaging men and running them down about whatever their shortcomings may be, you're short, you're bald, or whatever, and then the men start running them down on their value, they are really dog whistling and letting other people know we're not going to protect her. We're not going to fight for them. Do what you will. They dog whistling. They deliberately dog whistling to ensure that you get victimized. And if you think that any other race of people or any other race of men will come to your aid, you're delusional. Turn on your news, get on the internet and see what's really going on in your communities. And you'll understand that our only survival is going to come from our unity. And power have words. Like, share, and subscribe. Share to the video. Keep your eyes open. Don't feed off into the negativity that they're using to divide our community. It's very dangerous. And I hope you took it like it's dangerous because it's serious. All you got to do is watch the news. By 6 o'clock, you'll see that the words I've spoken to you are actual and factual. Peace out of Detroit. Keep your head on a swivel for sure.